The lawyers say the video's evidence that his co-star Blake Lively's allegations of sexual harassment are unfounded.
The incident that began as a small misunderstanding between Justin and Blake has rapidly turned into a huge media frenzy. As Justin Badoni releases more footage proving that Blake Lively is a liar, many people are starting to doubt Blake's credibility. Do you want to know the contents of the clip? Join us as we explore what this footage is all about. Proving Blake wrong. Blake's big shock came when Justin released behind-the-scenes footage from the premiere of It Ends With Us. In this video, what was meant to be a casual moment looks pretty strange. Blake Lively, who had accused Justin of behaving inappropriately on set, now seems to be losing her case. As more footage comes out, she appears less like a victim and more like someone who might have twisted the story to benefit herself, a story that now seems to lack proof. This isn't just a typical Hollywood disagreement, it's a serious fight over reputations. Justin isn't backing down and has come ready with evidence like text messages, voice notes, and unedited video clips that contradict Blake's claims. One thing is clear, this situation is getting more intense, and it's not just about the two of them anymore. The public is taking sides, and many are starting to doubt Blake's account of what happened. Blake's reaction to everything happening is really surprising because instead of backing down, she's actually making things worse. She is sticking to her claims and even trying to stop Justin's legal team from sharing more evidence. Now, she's accusing them of leaking videos to the media as revenge, but it's kind of ironic since she was the one who went public first. This whole situation began when Blake decided to talk to the press, teaming up with the New York Times to share her issues with Justin. However, as new evidence comes out, people are starting to see a different perspective. The latest video shows a moment Blake called inappropriate, where Justin leaned toward her during a scene, but it turns out he wasn't being inappropriate at all. He was just trying to get the best shot as both an actor and a director. Instead of looking uncomfortable, Blake was actually joking and laughing with him during the scene. This wasn't harassment, it was just a fun moment on set where they were both improvising and enjoying themselves. The script didn't call for it, but they were comfortable and having a good time, which was never meant to be seen as wrong, and that's where the confusion lies. Blake's story about feeling uncomfortable and victimized doesn't really add up when you look at the whole situation. She says that Justin was crossing boundaries, but when you watch the full video, it shows she wasn't as uncomfortable as she claims. In fact, there's a part where Blake jokes about Justin's nose, which goes against her earlier statements about feeling like a victim. If she was really that uncomfortable, would she be making jokes? It seems like Blake might be trying to use the media to make herself look like the victim, while the actual situation on set was much less serious. The more she insists on her story, the worse it gets for her, making her look like a liar. Her legal team argues that the footage is part of a plan to discredit her, but people aren't convinced. As more videos come out, they seem to show Blake in a different light, and public opinion is changing, plus there's a bigger problem, which is Blake's credibility.
It's like, oh my god, I forgot to tell you something else.
I think that's cute.
This whole situation is really hurting her career and making people distrust her. She has been accused of adopting a victim mentality to elicit sympathy, a strategy that has led many to question whether she has been manipulating the narrative from the outset. With this recent mindset from her fans, what do you think might be her fate even before the end of this lawsuit? Let's get a little ride into the effects of this case. The possible effect of Justin's revelation. The recent appearance of recordings presenting her in a distinctly different light has greatly harmed her public reputation and status. This has only intensified the challenges Blake is encountering, particularly with the information that Justin's legal team has suggested there may be more footage revealed soon. This has led to worries regarding her capacity to recover from the current harmful material. Some experts even propose that this situation might evolve into a significant legal issue, possibly setting a precedent for the management of similar scandals in the entertainment sector. If the current direction persists, Blake could encounter not only legal issues but also a considerable obstacle in her professional life. The damage to her public reputation could be irreversible, and it's important to remember that the digital realm has a lasting memory. In the current digital era, any mistake can lead to enduring repercussions as information circulates swiftly and can be hard to completely eliminate. Currently, social media is filled with different discussions as numerous fans of Justin and various industry figures openly talked about Blake's conduct. The pertinent question has shifted from whether Blake's career will be affected to the extent of the actual damage incurred. The focus is now on her decisions and their effects, as individuals consider the possible consequences and implications for her future in the field. Meanwhile, Justin stays steadfast, unwilling to give in. His legal team continually presents evidence, and each new clip seems to weaken Blake's claims. As the situation unfolds, an increasing number of observers are starting to think that Justin might eventually succeed. His legal team is implementing a bold approach, whereas Blake's legal methods appear more protective, centered on maintaining her image instead of directly addressing the substantial evidence. Moreover, it is not just the newly unveiled footage that is sparking controversy. Blake is facing increased scrutiny related to her history. Vintage footage showing her moments with co-stars like Anna Kendrick has emerged again, rekindling the tension from their work on A Simple Favor. What started as a lighthearted remark from Anna regarding Blake's close companion Taylor Swift has transformed into a lengthy conflict that might have been developing for years. Sources associated with the production have indicated that Blake and Anna experienced a challenging relationship because of their clashing personalities and varying work styles. The latent tension between them was clear off camera, frequently resulting in intense arguments and disputes that interrupted the filming process. This situation highlights that the entertainment industry isn't consistently glamorous or dramatic, going beyond the meticulously crafted narratives presented on screen. As Blake persists in her legal struggle with Justin Badoni, it is becoming clear that she is engaged in more complex conflicts than first expected. The complexities of managing legal conflicts in the spotlight alongside the emotional strain of confronting an ex-colleague have introduced additional difficulties to Blake's professional and personal circumstances. Blake is dealing with a lot of criticism for her actions, not only in the Baldoni situation, but also for how she supposedly treated her co-stars while filming. The conflict with Anna Kendrick is just one example, and it seems like her behavior might have turned off more fans than she realizes. Because of this, the studio behind A Simple Favor 2 is reportedly putting the movie on hold indefinitely. Amazon, which invested a lot of money in the project, is unhappy with the negative attention surrounding Blake, and it's uncertain if the continuation will ever be made. A big sign of Blake's current status in Hollywood is that she was reportedly not invited to the Golden Globes this year, which suggests her relationship with the industry has gotten worse. With ongoing legal troubles and bad press, Blake might be damaging her connections with some major figures in Hollywood. On the other hand, Justin is staying strong. His legal team is fighting back against Blake's accusations, and as the situation develops, he's gaining more support from the public. Many people are cheering for him, especially after seeing evidence that seems to clear his name. While Blake is trying to fix her career and reputation, it's clear that Justin is focused on setting the record straight, not minding how everything goes. This situation is more than just a simple disagreement between two people. The evidence is piling up, and people's opinions about Blake Lively are changing quickly. Many on the internet aren't convinced by her side of the story. With every new video that comes out, Justin seems to be gaining the upper hand in this conflict. However, the legal battle is still ongoing, and both sides are claiming they've won something. It's hard to predict how this will all turn out. What we do know is that this story goes beyond just one movie premiere or some behind the scenes clips. It's a much larger and more complex situation, and everyone is watching closely to see what happens next. Well, if you're still lost on what exactly is going on between Blake and Justin or how we got here, then you need to get the full story. So grab your popcorn, let's explore what exactly happened between these two. Allegations against Justin. After the success of Colleen Hoover's book, It Ends With Us, filmmaker and actor Justin Baldoni's Wayfarer Studios got the rights to make a movie based on the popular novel. Blake Lively was chosen to play the main character, Lily, while Baldoni planned to direct and act alongside her. Hoover was really excited about the casting, calling Lively her dream Lily, and saying Baldoni was just right for the role of Ryle. Filming started in New Jersey in May 2023, but had to pause because of the Hollywood writers and actors strikes. When the movie finally came out in August 2024, Baldoni praised Lively's performance, describing her as a strong, funny, and intelligent heroine. However, rumors about a feud between Baldoni and Lively started spreading on social media after they seemed to avoid each other at promotional events for the film. Fans quickly noticed that the actors weren't following each other on social media. Most of the cast followed Lively but not Baldoni. TMZ reported that the tension might have come from claims of fat-shaming comments and Baldoni's long kissing scenes. Some outlets speculated that the rift could be due to Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds being too involved in the film's production. At that time, Baldoni decided to hire a crisis management and PR firm to help deal with the negative attention. Blake Lively faced criticism for what some saw as an insensitive way of promoting the film.
Blake Lively's team says that in showing this video, they are blaming the victim here. They also...
Critics pointed out that she seemed more focused on her beauty line during interviews instead of discussing the film's serious topic of domestic maltreatment. Lively received backlash for joking in response to a serious question about the movie's themes. Many comments on her social media accused her of not taking the film's important subject matter seriously. In response, Lively shared a statistic about domestic maltreatment on Instagram to raise awareness. Meanwhile, her co-star Brandon Sklenar defended her, calling the criticism upsetting, but amidst all these, something happened that thrilled everyone. In December 2024, a shocking lawsuit from Blake Lively claimed that Justin Baldoni's behavior caused her so much emotional discomfort while they were working on It Ends With Us. The lawsuit mentioned that Blake had a meeting to discuss her conditions for continuing in the film, where she requested Baldoni to stop talking about his alleged adult entertainment addiction and his past intimate activities. Blake insisted that she doesn't want to be questioned about her weight or have her late father mentioned. She also requested that there be no extra intimate scenes or explicit content beyond what was already in the approved script. Sony Pictures, which is the film's distributor, agreed to these requests. However, Lively claims that Baldoni retaliated by starting a smear campaign to hurt her reputation. This situation raises concerns about who else might be targeted. Baldoni's lawyer Brian Friedman denied these claims, calling them false and outrageous. He also accused Lively of causing problems on set, including threats to skip filming and promotional events, which he says made the film's release more difficult. To make matters worse, these allegations against Justin were first reported in a New York Times investigation by Megan Twohey, who has covered issues of harassment and molestation in Hollywood and helped spark the Me Too movement. The investigation included private messages and suggested that Justin Baldoni was unhappy with how the film's story was being presented during its press campaign. This situation brings up important questions about the truthfulness of online narratives and how they might be manipulated by people for their own gain. It was reported that Baldoni's crisis PR representative, Melissa Nathan, allegedly made some comments that stirred everyone's curiosity. The annoying part about all these is that it took a great toll on Justin, because accusing someone of something like molestation has to be one of quickly scrutinized topics. The aftermath of the allegations on Justin. The consequences of the accusations against Justin Baldoni have caused serious problems for him as both a filmmaker and an actor. His talent agency, WME, quickly decided to cut ties with him right after Blake Lively filed a lawsuit. WME told the New York Times that they removed Baldoni from their list of clients just one day after Lively accused him of harassment and retaliation. On the other hand, Lively is still represented by the agency along with her husband, Ryan Reynolds. Additionally, an organization called Vital Voices, which had previously given Baldoni an award for supporting women and fighting against domestic maltreatment, took back the award after the lawsuit. Many well-known people have shown their support for Lively, including Colleen Hoover, the author of It Ends With Us, and actresses like Gwyneth Paltrow, America Ferrera, and Amy Schumer, as well as director Paul Feig. Blake's sister, Robin Lively, also expressed her support on social media, saying she wants justice for her sister. Meanwhile, Baldoni's lawyer claimed that the negative reactions against Lively were due to her inappropriate actions during the film's promotion, not because of Justin. Justin Baldoni is standing up for the crisis PR firm, saying they did what any crisis management team would do given the tough situation with Miss Lively. She made several demands and threats, like saying she wouldn't show up to the set or promote the film, which could have hurt its release if her requests weren't met.
At least 5 separate legal actions involving Baldoni, Blake Lively, and their various PR reps.
So in retaliation, Baldoni is suing the New York Times for $250 million, claiming they defamed him in a report from December 2024. He is one of 10 people suing, including the film's producers and publicists, Jennifer Abel and Melissa Nathan. The lawsuit, which is 87 pages long, argues that the Times used selective and altered communications without the right context to mislead readers. It also claims the paper relied too much on Lively's unverified story while ignoring evidence that could challenge her claims. The lawsuit states that the Times worked closely with Lively's team for weeks, using manipulated text and leaving out messages that contradicted their narrative. The New York Times has said they will strongly defend themselves against the lawsuit. Baldoni has also accused Ryan Reynolds of giving him an inappropriate and embarrassing reprimand in front of their celebrity friends. Now, the most interesting part of all these is that Justin and his production company recently filed a lawsuit against Blake, her husband, and Leslie Sloan. And according to reports, Taylor Swift was mentioned too. You might be wondering how Swift suddenly got involved in this saga. Well, stay tuned as we're about to unveil the unbelievable. How Taylor Swift got involved Justin and his production company Wayfair Studios have taken legal action against Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and Blake's publicist Leslie Sloan for a variety of reasons. He is seeking at least $400 million in damages. Now, you might wonder how Taylor Swift fits into this story. While Justin isn't suing Taylor, he likely knew that mentioning her would grab more headlines. He talks about a crucial scene in the movie where Blake and his character meet on a rooftop. During a meeting to discuss a rewrite of that scene, Justin went to Blake and Ryan's New York City penthouse. Ryan was there the whole time praising Blake's work, and Justin didn't seem to mind that. But then a few hours into the meeting, Taylor Swift showed up. As Blake's best friend, she exclaimed how much she loved the script and added her thoughts. Justin claims in the lawsuit that he realized the meeting felt more like an ambush than a collaboration. To please Blake, Justin just left to be in charge of things, and it seems like everyone has to follow her lead before Justin agrees to the way she adjusted the script. So in the lawsuit, he mentioned that he was willing to go along with the situation, knowing he had a tough fight ahead. Justin claims that they agreed to go with whichever version of the film tested better.
And the amount of damages and compensation being sought in all these various litigations, $900 million.
He believes his version performed much better than Blake's, but they still chose Blake's version. This was because Blake told Sony that if they didn't use her version, she wouldn't promote the movie. So, according to Justin, Sony had no choice but to agree, and he's really upset about it. He even said he felt like he had to remove himself from the project, even though he was the director. Now, they're not using his cut of the film, which has caused a lot of tension. Justin also talks about Leslie Sloan, Blake's publicist, who he claims joined forces with Blake to make him look bad when the movie faced backlash. They seem to create a story where Blake looked like the hero and Justin was the villain, but to everyone's surprise, there are lots of text messages that support Justin's claims, and just like we've said before, he's even suing the New York Times for a whopping $250 million. With so many people involved, it's hard to say how this will all end up. But with the recent release of the unedited behind-the-scene footage of what exactly happened between Justin and Blake, it now looks like everyone is about to take sides, and of course they might run to Justin. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.